Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
An employee of a bank who receives and pays out money. A person responsible for receiving payments for goods and services, as in a shop or restaurant. Discard or do away with. Cashier, the literal sense of this word. Discharge with dishonor, as in the army. An employee of a bank who receives and pays out money. Someone who tells a story. United States physicist, born in Hungary, who worked on the first atom bomb and the first hydrogen bomb, 1908 to 2003. An employee of a bank who receives and pays out money. An official appointed to count the votes, especially in legislative assembly. A financier who owns or is an executive in a bank. The person in charge of the bank in a gambling game. Characteristic of or meant for a single person or thing. An individual serving. Being or characteristic of a single thing or person. Individual drops of rain. A human being. Separate and distinct from others of the same kind. Mark the individual pages. Concerning one person exclusively. We all have individual cars. A single organism. Causing or capable of causing death. Mortal combat. A human being. Involving loss of divine grace or spiritual death. Subject to death. Mortal beings. Unrelenting and deadly. Mortal enemy. A human being. There was too much for one person to do. A grammatical category used in the classification of pronouns, possessive determiners, and verb forms according to whether they indicate the speaker, the addressee, or a third party. Stop talking about yourself in the third person. A human body, usually including the clothing. A weapon was hidden on his person. A human being. The immaterial part of a person, the actuating cause of an individual life. Deep feeling or emotion. A human being. A secular form of gospel that was a major black musical genre in the 1960s and 1970s. Soul was politically significant during the civil rights movement. The human embodiment of something. The soul of honor. A human being. Do away with. Slavery was abolished in the mid-19th century in America and in Russia. Dispose of. Do away with. Terminate, end, or take out. Remove, cargo, people, etc., from and leave. Electrical conduction through a gas in an applied electric field. Free from obligations or duties. Go off or discharge. Eliminate, a substance. The termination of someone's employment, leaving them free to depart. Pronounce not guilty of criminal charges. Cause to go off. Release from military service. A substance that is emitted or released. Any of several bodily processes by which substances go out of the body. The discharge of pus. The act of discharging a gun. The act of venting. The pouring forth of a fluid. Become empty or void of its content. A formal written statement of relinquishment. Complete or carry out. Discharge one's duties. Pour forth or release. Discharge liquids. Remove the charge from. The sudden giving off of energy. Not taken up by scheduled activities. A free hour between classes. Part with a possession or right. Not fixed in position. He pulled his arm free and ran. Relieve from. Free or remove obstruction from. Free a path across the cluttered floor. Remove or force out from a position. He finally could free the legs of the earthquake victim who was buried in the rubble. Grant freedom to. Free from confinement. Make assets available. Release gas or energy as a result of a chemical reaction or physical decomposition. Free from obligations or duties. Make information available for publication. Completely wanting or lacking. People who are free. The home of the free and the brave. Not literal. A free translation of the poem. Without restraint. Costing nothing. Free admission. Grant relief or an exemption from a rule or requirement to. Let off the hook. Not held in servitude. After the Civil War he was a free man. Not limited or hampered, not under compulsion or restraint. Free enterprise. Not occupied or in use. A free locker. Unconstrained or not chemically bound in a molecule or not fixed and capable of relatively unrestricted motion. Free expansion.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.